due to COVID, we're gonna have to do a virtual phone thing first, and then it go from there. Hey, where's the plane at?
That's one of the pictures I took from the, trying to get my background for this meeting. Ah, that's cool.
There you go. Look at you. There you go.
That works.
That'll work. I'm gonna do this window a little bit because it's gonna stay hot over here if you don't.
Go ahead, let me see how it looks.
Don't do something here. Shit, that the single pane windows.
Go ahead, keep going. Keep going. That's good.
That's good right there. Good. That fan blowing the air right out there.
Yeah. Change the background.
Darken you up a little bit.
I can't.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's what for the class?
Yeah. So what I did, whoops. What happened to it?
Yeah, I'd like to have a flag like that, or make one out of it, out of wood like
Yeah,
that.
that would work. Oh, hey Felipe. Hey Rodrigo.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys? Hi.
How about yourself? There. Look at you all angeled up.
No, I gotta have my wings. Don't let the wings fool you though. Are you guys familiar with Zoom?
Yeah, we've been playing with it, and after I cry out for help yesterday, I keep pushing buttons and things, and I don't know. I was able to get to where I think I was done with everything, but like I said, I felt like Adam's on Mother's Day.
Okay, no, that's okay. And this is good though, because it prompted me to go through the forms again and see, you know, what needed to be updated and what have you.
So I have a question for you real quick. On the Antelope Valley Advisory ones, like when you're downloading the PDF, how are you filling those in? Are you using another program or are you still using Zip?
Actually, it's easier for you to go to gavar.org, and I put a little note on that. I'll show you guys. Go to gavar.org, fill it out, save it as a PDF, and just upload it into ZipForms.
Oh, okay, so actually fill it out on.
Yeah, because it will allow you to autofill it right there.
Okay.
Rather than having to go into DocuSign and fill in all the text messages and what have you. There's the woman of the hour.
Can you move that mouse out of my nose?
You sitting in with us?
Of course. Let me get my chair because he's in mine.
Hey.
Sir.
Well, just so you guys know, this is my first time hosting something like this, so bear with me.
No worries.
Okay.
This is not going to work.
It's going to be a good thing, though. We're going to record it, so you can always go back and refer to it if you need to.
No, I'm going to go get my pillow.
Pillow? No
Yeah, I
sleeping.
got a pillow on my hard chair.
It's a booster.
No sleeping on the job.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good, doing good.
Good. All right. Now, where did my Zoom screen go? Bear with me.
Got my mother pretty much settled in, which is a good thing.
Good.
Just
Okay.
have to get her prescription stuff done. So later on after this class, I will go over to Target and get her prescription stuff set up.
Nice. Okay. So we'll wait 3 more minutes. I'm not sure who else might be popping in, but we'll just wait. And I have to figure out how to share my screen. Share. Okay. Host, start sharing.
What do we have going on too?
Can you guys see my screen yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'm working on it. Maybe desktop.
There we go.
There you are.
There it
Oh,
is.
look at you. Okay. Let's see here. You see my zip forms?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me go to ZipForms.
I do get to talking a little bit fast sometimes, you guys. So if I, slow me down or go ahead and ask questions if you need to.
I don't have it on here.
So one of the things that, let me go ahead and put this on start recording. Let me figure that out now. Let me see. Okay. Pause. Okay. I guess we must be recording. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's recording because it
Is
has
it
a little
recording?
icon in the top left corner that says recording.
Okay, perfect. All right. All right, so one of the things that I always tell agents, and you may already know this, is when you get a listing, you're going to want to always get a statement of information from your seller, even though typically you get it from a buyer. Get that up front when you have them do their listing paperwork. And then you're going to want to order your prelim right away. As soon as you have the listing paperwork signed, you're going to want to order your prelim, because you don't want any surprises, 2 weeks in, that there's something on the prelim that's going to prevent closing of the deal. Okay. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into, here's the dashboard. And I kind of want to show you guys how I can see things from my side. I can go into transactions, and I can go to other agents' transactions right here. And here's all you guys.
Okay.
So Rodrigo, you said you actually did a transaction?
I was clicking onto, and
I have one in there, I think, Barb, and then Rodrigo was playing around with it also, so we kind of have some in there. I'm just not sure if we have all the forms right, or if we have the packet loaded correct.
Okay, so here's yours on Panita, Felipe.
Uh-huh.
So let's open that up,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll go to documents and listing contracts. You filled that out, right?
I believe so. No, that one, I think I did that one, yes.
You did, okay.
Yes.
So you guys now know how to go open a transaction, pull in the template. Actually, with the listing, the template's going to populate automatically.
Okay.
Okay. So, but what I want to do, you guys did what you did. Let's do this. I'm going to set up a transaction and show you how I do it from start to finish.
Okay, that would be awesome. That's
Okay.
kind of
Because I actually did go through the forms, and we redid some forms. So let's start a new listing.
You want an address?
Sure, give me one.
2451 Spice Pecan Way.
that's my client.
Ah, right there, look at that. Okay, so if it was listed, the next thing I would do is I go straight to MLS Connect and pull in all my data from there. But it's not, when you have a listing, you're not going to list it first and then do your paperwork. So it's not really effective for you that way. It's mostly it's mostly going to be for when you have a buyer.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then we're going to go to residential,
Mm-hmm.
active, and you can see right here, your template is already there. It's already
See, that's what I
uploaded.
love about her. It's already there. Everything's there. Everything we need is right there.
Because I can set up, when I set up the templates, I can set up the templates to say automatically import into new transactions, which is what I've done for a listing. So because I've revised the forms on the listing, when I open this, save it, when I open it, all the new forms are going to be in there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's just refresh. Okay, so here's our listing. This page is really important. You're going to want to fill out this information as much as you can.
Okay.
Okay, your listing date, let's say, is going to be today. I'm selling your house today, okay? And then the
I
listing.
want 700,000. No.
No, we're going for $9.99.
That works too.
Okay, so and then your listings normally, I recommend you do 6 months.
6 months.
Okay, and your list price is going to be $999,999. How about that? Oh, 9 million. Ooh.
Hey.
Okay.
Hello.
Even better. Okay, so if you know the trust deed balance, great. If you don't, that's okay too.
356.
What's that?
356.
356.
Yes.
Okay,
Like,
there we go.
No second.
Okay, no HOA.
63 for HOAs.
Oh, you have an HOA. Okay.
Yep.
All right. What's the HOA name?
Ana Verde.
Oh, you live up in them places. Okay.
One word.
She lives in
Ah.
both places.
You got that
Yeah,
mellow.
thank you, Aubrey.
Time to sell. Move out. Okay. Do you have any leased? This is where you put like leased solar equipment, that kind of a thing. You would put
Yep.
that here. You do?
Yep.
Okay. Who's your leasing with?
No, is it Solar City? No, SunPower.
Somehow.
SunPower.
Okay. So I'm just going through this with you so that we can kind of get an idea of
Yeah.
you don't want to miss anything. Okay.
Exactly.
So anything that your listing would include, for example, are you going to leave the refrigerator? Are you
Okay, things
going-
like
Yeah,
that. Okay.
right. And then it excludes the things that they're going to take with them.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
4 dogs and a grandpa.
4 dogs in a grandpa.
They're going to charge you for that. Okay. So then your purchase summary is going to remain blank until you get an offer that you accept. Okay.
Right.
Go back in and you fill this out.
Barbara, I have a question for you. On
Sure.
the includes and excludes, how detailed should we get on those? Pretty detailed or just
No.
refrigerator, microwave, stove, oven?
That's all you have to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if it's something specific that you really need to go into detail, you might want to just draft an addendum.
Okay. Okay.
And
But
that's
you always want to get extra copies of things. Like, for example, I just did a deal where the roof had a leak and the insurance paid for it. So what they didn't have was a roof certification. So what we had to do was ask for a roof certification and make sure that the leak was actually repaired properly. Even though they had the receipts, it was done through insurance. You never know.
Mhm.
So you always want to protect your client.
I did that on the house that I sold in Tehachapi. I made
Yeah.
sure of all of those things.
Depending on the age of the roof too, even if there's no issues, you might want to go ahead and get a roof cert. You know, so you're the one that has to think of those things. Think, should I get a roof cert? Okay, is the septic? When was the last time the septic was,
Was
cleaned
clean,
out?
right, right.
Get a septic certification, all those things. So that's what has to trigger in your mind. So on the listing side commission, so we're doing 10%. I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
No, why not? Let's do
10%.
that's fine. Okay. There's no admin.
Rodrigo, ask her.
So on the portion where you said listing includes, that's only personal property.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. It could include a yacht. I don't know, anything that the seller wants to include in the deal. This is a good place to put it.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to trigger you too because you're not going to remember everything, especially when you have those 3 listings every week. How are you going to remember everything and keep
I
it?
thought it
Why are you
was
smiling, Felipe? I'm serious as a heart attack.
Rodrigo said, I thought it was 3 listings daily.
Oh,
Okay.
it was. I misspoke. Sorry. Okay.
I can't wait for my cards because I'm going to be passing them out here because people want to sell right now.
They
So,
do.
You know what? I want their business.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so we got the commission at 10%. So the commission amount is going to be, you can do your calculator right here, do your numbers. I'm not going to bother with that, but this is where you put that information in. If there's
And
any
now-
deductions, for example, on this deal that I'm doing on 33rd, I'm crediting half the cost of the home protection plan to my buyers at close of escrow. So I'll make a
Okay.
note there so I don't forget.
Right.
Now, on the commission side where you were just doing where you have the dollars part,
Uh-huh.
do you put it off of what we originally listed the house as? And if we take deductions on it, then that would update? Or how do we
Right.
go about that? You would
It
just
doesn't automatically update, but this is just going to be your reference point because when you go to do your CDA, when you get ready to close,
Okay.
that's when you're going to itemize everything and do all your deductions and everything right there. But this is
Okay.
going to trigger you to remember.
And
So,
on
for
that
example,
10 that you have there,
sorry?
on that 10 that you put it for commission,
Uh-huh.
that is a global, right? It's not like the 5 for the seller, 5 for the buyer, or whatever.
This is
That-
the total.
Altogether.
That's the
Okay,
total. Yeah.
perfect.
Total. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then down here, like for example, agent 1 is going to be, since I'm the listing agent, my commission there, it's 90% because I'm going to split my commission with Carmen because she showed the property for me. So
Okay.
I've got an arrangement with her where if she'll go show properties for my buyers, she's going to get 10% of my commission.
Okay.
I don't have to go out and show properties, right? So there you have it. So you get your commission.
That's what she
there.
meant when I was in the office.
See? And so then
She was like,
you
"Ooh."
got your buyer side commission summary. So now your commission on the buyer side is going to be 5% of that 10%. So yeah, I think you're right, Rodrigo. I think this would be 5%.
That would be 5%. I've got
Yeah.
to see.
Or
Yeah.
total of 10, right?
Total of 10.
Total,
Right.
5
Because
and 5.
otherwise it would have been 15%.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Suzanne's going to pay 15%. She don't mind.
I don't know. I just want to make sure we're putting it all in right.
Have what, 90 million?
Yeah, you know,
At 90 million, I guess you can afford that.
I got some people down below that want to sell, so I'm really hoping that we can do this because their house is going to go for quite a bit.
Oh yeah, and it'll go quickly. It'll go quickly.
Yeah.
So basically, you put the buyer side once you get the offer accepted. You'll put all the information here for the buyer. Okay. So that's your first step when you start, putting a listing in. Then you're going to go to your well, actually, go to your parties.
Parties. Yeah, you got to put everybody's names in.
You'll put everybody.
Buyer 1, buyer 2. Yeah.
Yep. So
The
this is where
seller.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
when your escrow opens, you're going to want to fill in this part with your escrow information, right?
Uh-huh.
Or you can go to your address book, and maybe we already have the escrow people in here.
Oh,
I'm
And
gonna
just
go
click
through,
on it.
and you'll just click on and add it. And feel free to add to your contacts as you go along.
Okay.
Okay, because you want to keep that so you don't have to keep repeating and putting it in. So as you get new people on the side that you're working on, fill it out. And you can sort it by buyer side, seller side, and your service providers.
Mhm.
Okay, so those two, and it's got it in order for you, your summary, your parties, and then you go to your documents.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So on your documents, you're going to want to go to listing contracts first. And you guys already know that you have to do your agency disclosure. That's the first thing you do with your listing. So what CAR has done is they put your agency disclosure as the very first disclosure when you start your documents.
nice.
They've made things so much simpler now. I mean,
You know, Barb, when I did this, do you realize I had to go and pull every single one of these forms myself?
I know.
That's why Rodrigo and I were so confused because it's super easy because you have templates built.
Right.
So
Oh
I
my
think it's like right there in
gosh.
front of us, and we're like, is this a template we need? Or are we doing the right thing? Because
Yeah.
before it was like, oh, you got to go find this. Here's your list. And we're like,
Oh my
what? Like,
gosh.
See, here's the thing. Why do I want to have the headache of making sure that you've all got all the right templates too, right? That you-
Right?
no, exactly.
Yeah,
So
it
this
makes
is
sense.
So
super easy.
check this out though. Let me see if I got it in here. I think I do. Oh, I added something in here. Oh, disclosures. Okay, we'll go to disclosures in a second. Always sort your disclosures A to Z. You guys know the
Yes.
right? Okay. So look here. Sales disclosure checklist
Checklist.
has been revised as of January 2020 for CAR. So when you open this, if I'm not around and you're not sure, all you have to do is pull up this checklist and read about it. TDS and SPQ, obviously you have to have both of those, right? Your AVID, you have to have your AVID. Your seller's affidavit, you need a seller's affidavit. Even though we depend on escrow to do the FERPTA, right?
Mm-hmm.
We still want to have a seller's affidavit in there. Your natural hazard disclosure report, that
Right.
comes from escrow. It tells you everything right here. So you don't have to guess.
Checklist. Yeah.
You don't have to guess. And it's in the template under disclosure, so you'll have it right where you need it, okay? So I'm not always going to be around to answer questions for you right away. So that's going to
We
kind
can
of,
always go in there and look.
exactly, it's going
Good
to be your
children.
guide.
Yes, gotcha.
Exactly. So when you go back to your listing contracts, you've got your cover sheet, which if you filled out all the other stuff in the summary and everything, your stuff should populate right here.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the property address already populated. We obviously don't have the APN because we didn't do this full board, right? There's your solar lease through SunPower as leased items. You got residential. I just heard somebody pop in.
No,
And
that
then-
was just my computer with an email.
Oh, okay.
We're good. Sorry.
That's okay. So in this part right here, seller's broker information, it's automatically going to put in the company, all this information. You're going to have to change the agent's phone number. I'm sorry, the agent's name. But your DRE
That
office
phone
listing number is going to stay the same. The 0210-8588 is the brokerage number.
That's the brokerage number.
Right.
And then I put the listing agent's number in my own area, correct?
Exactly, and the
Okay.
email address and your phone number. So,
Right.
but when you do your cover sheet, it's gonna cover all that. I mean,
Yeah.
your players. So basically, this will all fill in, and you're going to want to fill in your lender information sheet, your homeowner's information, as much as you can at the beginning, because then the rest of your job is easy.
Okay, I've got a question. Do
Sure.
you have a specific lender that you like to utilize?
You can use whoever you're comfortable with. Right now, we've been using Rodney Jacobson with MMC.
Okay.
He's actually going to be leaving. Loan Depot has a really good lender. Her name is Deneen Weir. So yeah, we've got a couple of people. It just depends on the client and what they're looking for.
Okay.
Everybody has to be a fit, you know?
Right. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so that's your cover sheet. So then you're going to go to your residential listing agreement. And
Okay.
most of the information is already going to be there. Your seller's name will already be here. Oh, one thing I did want to show you on your cover sheet, make sure, okay, seller, Suzanne,
Right.
make sure that this box right here is checked.
Okay. I was
Okay.
going to ask about those boxes. Okay.
Because what happens when you check those boxes is when you go to DocuSign, it's automatically going to put the place that they have to sign onto the
Oh, perfecto.
automatically, but you have to put it there. Now that's
Okay.
not to say that there's not, you have to still check everything as you put it through DocuSign.
Right.
For example, arbitration doesn't automatically get initials. You have to physically
You have to physically put them in.
Right,
Okay.
because they don't have to sign arbitration.
True.
So you always want to make sure these boxes are checked. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Barb, I have
Yeah.
a question here. When I was filling out my thing here under the transaction party, it asked me for my agent ID and then the license number. What will be the agent ID?
Okay, let me go back to that. You're talking about under parties?
Yes.
Okay, so you would be the listing agent, right?
Uh-huh.
You're talking about right in here like this?
Oh, it's gone.
Nope. Where'd you go?
Am I out there?
Yeah, you're here. It's all right. Just she'll pop back up.
You find me?
Yeah, hang on just a minute.
No, it's not. My phone's never done
Your
that.
phone is
Your
ringing
phone
up
is ringing
there.
up at the top. That's why. Decline.
Can you see the transaction party screen?
Give
Click
us
on-
1 sec.
Click on
Okay.
Click on that.
We
There
got
she
you.
goes.
Got it? Okay. Is this the screen you're talking about, Rodrigo?
Let me see.
Yeah, that one where it's asking for the
Yes.
agent ID.
Don't worry about the agent ID.
No, we don't
Okay.
have one? Okay.
No. Yeah.
So
Don't worry
just
about
the license
License
number.
number.
License number right there.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then make sure that everything else is correct. You want to put your email in, your cell phone,
Okay.
everything else through here. Just make sure and go through, make sure it's correct. And then you can also save it if you want to Zip CRM and it'll always be there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. And the same thing with your vendors as you put them in, your service providers. As you enter them, go ahead and save them and they'll go into your contacts.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So then going back to the documents, I'm going to go back to listing contracts. And you guys know how to fill out a listing contract already, right?
You guys have done though. I've not done a listing. I've done a sale. So a listing
well-
I've not done.
Miss Suzanne, you only have 3 days left in the month. You have 3 listings. So what's happening here? Okay. So possible representation, more than one buyer or seller, they automatically put that in. That's important because if you don't disclose that you have more than one client, some people assume that you only work with one person at a time. And somewhere along the line, somebody got mad and said, well, they weren't giving me their full undivided attention. They didn't tell me they had other clients. So now they had to have a disclosure for it. So this is why you put that one. Wire fraud, of course, is a big thing right now. So then your residential listing agreement, be very careful with this. Make sure that you dot your T's and cross your I's, okay? And then here's where your percentage goes, your 10%,
Right.
okay?
That's for the total.
Right? And this is like whatever, you know.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to add like another $5,000 because Suzanne likes you, that's fine. And then in addition, seller agrees to pay broker, and it's always going to be none. We don't ever ask for anything extra.
Barbara, on the box above that one, on 1 or 2, do you have to put within a X amount of calendar days? Do you put, no, or you leave it blank?
Leave it blank.
Okay.
Blank.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you can put like 90 days if you want.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Listing period or extension. Right.
So if somebody comes and looks at the house that you've shown them and then the listing expires, you might want to put 90 days if they come back, you know, within 90 days and buy it. You still have the right to a commission.
Right.
Okay.
And then D1 down here, this is where you do your percentage split. You do your 5%.
5% and 5%.
Right. And you don't put anything here for purchase price unless you're going to charge something on top of that.
Okay.
But we don't. So seller represents that seller has not previously entered into a listing agreement. You
With
always
any
want to make
broker.
sure, ask them that question, and then you put none.
Okay.
Don't leave it blank. Seller warns the seller has no obligation to pay compensation to any other broker, and you want to make sure, and you say none. Now, if Suzanne tells me, yeah, I listed my property with Rodrigo, and I didn't like the way he was doing his job, so I canceled it. My first question is, did you get an unconditional release in writing? You always want to make sure
That you have that.
that you have an unconditional release in writing on file if you take over from a listing that was canceled.
Okay.
Otherwise, you might not get a commission. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you want to notate that right here. Please
Right.
see attached unconditional release. Seller was listed with Rodrigo and canceled the listing. So everything needs to be transparent. So here's your items included and excluded again. It'll
If you
populate if you filled it in.
need to add the extra page,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The addendum.
Not if
Because there's not a lot of room on there. So yeah.
if it's something really specific, like it's a hero pace, solar lease, and buyer has to pre-qualify, blah, 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 then you want to kind of add an addendum to it, okay? So here's your solar. Again, you've got solar on this property, so you check that box. If there's an alarm system, a propane, a water softener, same thing with leaned items. Then the multiple listing services. So the broker's MLS, I'm a subscriber to Gavar and Southland, but
Mhm.
you are not. Oh, you are, Suzanne?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm both. I'm Star
She is
and
only
Gabbar.
Rodrigo and I are.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah,
did
I'm
you already
sorry.
change Southland over?
Hmm?
Did you change Southland over?
I'm hoping it did.
Okay, okay. Well, that's
I'll
good.
find
You
out. I'll go on later today and find out.
double check it.
I
So
will.
put Gavar and Southland for you, and then the guys will just put Gavar, okay?
Okay.
And then you've got your benefits of using the MLS, and you always want your seller to initial. This is actually a new section. And then you've got the broker or agent's initials. When it says broker or agent, you will initial it, not me, okay? So they got your clear cooperation policy. This is some new stuff. They did revise the listing agreement, I think, in June. Clear cooperation policy. MLS rules require or do not require that residential real property with 1 to 4 units and vacant lot listings be submitted to the MLS within 1 business day of any public marketing. We do require that, okay? Coming soon, it explains to you about the coming soon statuses. And then seller instructs broker to market the property to the public and to start marketing on the beginning date of this agreement or. So let's say you list the property today, but Suzanne, you want to get the carpets cleaned and you want to do some touch-up painting and you don't want to show the property until such and such date. Then you have to fill in the date right there.
Perfect.
So clear cooperation policy does not apply. Just familiarize your stuff with yourself with the verbiage on these things so that you know. And then if you're not sure, then just let me know. I've got to review this because a lot of this stuff is new. Automated estimate of value. The ability to create an automated estimate of value or to link to another site containing such an estimate of value if the link is in immediate conjunction of the property display. Seller elects to opt out of certain internet features as provided by CAR on the local equivalent form. So I think this is referring to like RPR. Have you guys used RPR yet?
I've seen it before. Where it gives
Okay.
you
So it's a realtor's property. What's the last one? Something, but it's a realtor tour to get the value. And I think that that's what this is referring to right here.
Okay.
I'll look into it a little bit further. Okay, then you got your seller's investigations and reports. So 5 days from beginning of day of this agreement, if they're going to get a structural pest report first before they even have an offer, a property inspection or homeowner association documents, which in your case you're going to want to have, I would check that box from HOA and give you 5 days to get this to me. Okay? Because we have to be able to provide them. And a lot of times what you can do is upload them into your listing on the MLS so that every time somebody asks for them, you can say they're on the MLS already. You can pull them. Okay? And then your deposit and your disclosure regarding agency relationships. That was the first disclosure that we got to. This is important. Photographs and internet advertising. You guys are aware when you take your photograph for your listings, you cannot have your sign in the
Correct.
photograph.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
It has to be a front view of the property. Okay. Yeah.
Correct. Not altered. Exactly.
Not altered. Exactly. And then all the rest of this stuff is pretty standard. If you have a contingency that the seller wants to buy another property and close that property, you better disclose that right up front.
Mm-hmm.
In your listing, on your MLS, and on a disclosure, because you could be in some serious problems if you don't do that.
Right.
If it's a trust and you check the trust box, it's going to populate automatically for you to fill it out. Same thing with a short sale, same thing with an REO. We don't have any REO and short sale inventory right now that I'm aware of to any major extent, and I have a feeling it might be coming pretty soon.
Oh, yes, it is.
But if you do get those, then you need to put these advisories in here, and it will automatically put it into the deal for you.
Okay.
Okay. Seller intends to include a contingency to purchase a replacement property. That's where you would check this,
That's like
and then that form would populate.
Right.
Anything else that you need to disclose would go right in here.
Okay.
And then ownership, title, and authority. You need to make sure that the person, Miss Suzanne, is selling this house. How do I know that? Because when Suzanne called me, I went to title profile and I did my homework. And I made sure that Suzanne is on title. Because if she wasn't, I would say, well, then you need to tell me who's actually, why are you trying to sell this property out from under this person over here? My ex-husband, but he may be your ex-husband, but you're not on title. So you've got to do your homework before you go on these listing appointments, okay? And when you get to that point and you need the assistant to do that, I'll help you guys out and give you the tools to do it, okay? Do you know Ralph DeMaio?
No.
Okay. He's a title rep out here. He's amazing. So what I'll do is I'll set up for him to make an appointment with you guys.
Okay.
And he'll give you the tools that you need to do, like farms and all kinds of stuff. He's a wealth of information. I actually met him, gosh, when I was with James Baker, when I first got into real estate, and I was in the Select 20, and Ralph had started the Select 25, which was the top 25 realtors in the Antelope Valley. So he's been around for a very, very, very long time.
What company is he with?
He just changed. I think he went to, I'll get it for you. I know he was with WFG, but he changed.
Okay.
Okay, so representative capacity, this is really important. So if you've got somebody who is going to be signing for a corporation, signing for an LLC, you make sure that you have representative capacity and you verify who they are. Okay. And then this will all fill in too. The seller information will fill in because you filled in the first preliminary documents. We just didn't complete them right now. And here's your seller's advisory, which all sellers will get automatically with the package.
Mm-hmm.
And here's your California Consumer Privacy Act advisory. So all these things are already in there for you. This was done by Carr, and then I took it to the next step. When you do a listing, I always want you to do your disclosures at the time of the listing.
Okay.
It saves time. It triggers questions for you about the property. You want to do your AVID at the time because you have to do your visual inspection when you do the listing anyway. Right. And you want to give your client some tips on what they should do to make their home a little bit more saleable.
Okay.
Declutter, maybe you should touch up, paint this. Mm-hmm. Whatever you have to be a chameleon in real estate. You got to read your client. You got to make sure that your client is open to suggestions. They may not be, but then you have to price accordingly. All right. So now, any questions on the listing contract side?
I do have a question. Just,
okay.
What was it? So let's say I'm listing a piece of property. Let's say that it's in a flood zone. Will that come up automatically once I've actually entered some of the information, or no, do I have to go and pull it?
No, it will not come up automatically. Your client should know.
Okay.
So you ask the client because their insurance policy, and if they're not sure, ask them to pull their insurance policy.
Right.
Because the next thing after that is going to be on the natural hazard disclosure. It should populate as well, but it takes a minute to get to that point. Okay.
Okay.
So the client should know, and if they're not sure, then ask them to give you a copy of their insurance policy for their homeowners.
That makes sense. Okay.
You kind of have to be a detective.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Like I said, I've not listed. They've done a listing. I have not.
Right.
I've just sold.
Yeah.
So, but once again, I wanted to make sure that these people I made sure my T's were crossed and my I's were dotted.
I always dot my T's and cross my I's, but that's
yeah.
okay.
I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler.
I know, you have to be. And guess what? Knock on wood, I've been in real estate for 18 years. I've never had anything come back on me. Knock on
Amen.
wood.
And
But,
knock on wood.
you know what? Sometimes it might seem like I'm coming off a little bit hard, but it's a reason for it. So if you learn stuff the right way from jump,
Yeah,
never
I'd
have
rather
a
you be
problem.
hard. Yeah, like Felipe just said. Did you hear what he said?
I said,
No.
I'd rather you be hard and tell us we're doing something wrong than let something slip and it comes back to bite us in the
Exactly.
ass.
I'd
Right.
rather know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather know
Yeah.
that we're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's not going to be anything that it's going to be like, you dummy, you did this. And that. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a teaching thing.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know. You know. So okay, so now let's go jump over. So once you've done your listing contracts, then you're going to jump over to your disclosures. Okay. And they're alphabetized once again, A through Z. Here's where your sales disclosure checklist is here. And then these first 6 documents, these are all that you want to give to your buyers. These don't have to go to the sellers right away. These are all that you're going to want to give to a buyer when you open a deal. Okay. Then you've got your agent visual inspection disclosure. Have you filled out one of those before?
I have. I just want to know how detailed you want as far as that one. Like I was filling one out on the one that I had last night. I'll give you an idea of kind of how I put some stuff on there. Hang on, I'll take just a minute.
And on that one, when you see something like, for example, something that appears to be mold on the bathroom, you have to describe it as discoloration because you're not a
Right.
mold
You're not an
inspector,
expert, right?
So
Absolutely.
like on the entry, I said like, 1, holes in the wall and some damaged drywall, 2, cracked marble flooring, entry door handle is loose, and closet door has a hole. Is that basically where you want it?
That's
Just basic?
perfect. Anything that's visual. Just remember the word visual.
Okay.
Okay.
Visual. And because you're not an inspector, you're not an appraiser, you're not, any of those things. So you're going to go in there and say, okay, well, the normal wear and tear on the carpet. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
you say those
okay.
kind of
I
things.
did one of those when I sold the
And
house.
like in the
Tennessee.
kitchen area, I
Yeah.
put like sink basins dirty, counters have stained marble, first counter islands missing all cabinetry. Just
Perfect.
basic stuff that you see. Okay.
Basic stuff.
Okay.
And what I always look for too, because sometimes inspectors don't do this, I make sure that the windows have window screens.
Yes.
That's huge. But I always make sure.
I demanded that in the house that I sold in Tehachapi
Mhm.
because there were like 12 screens that were missing. I said, nope, I want
Yep.
the screens put in.
You
And
always
he
want
was
to check
going to
that.
try to fight me on it, but he put them in.
Well, and you know what? If you go into it as if you're looking at the house for your parents or for your kids, and you look for things that way, then you'll know.
Yeah.
I'm like that, Barb. I go and look at model homes. We've looked at the Toll Brother ones, and I'm like, who in the world would be buying this for $1.7 million? There's already a crack going down the center of the wall. Like,
We're like
and it's
that.
a
We're
brand-
bad.
It's a model home. You would think that would be the best
The
thing.
perfect.
It'd be the
Exactly.
perfect one, and they're not. So I know what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. You just want to make sure. And the other thing I do is I always look for water stains in the ceilings. Always.
Now,
So-
on the water stains on the ceilings, if you find one in a corner or if there's multiple, could you just say I have, like, on here I put game room approximately 6 ceiling stains in multiple locations? Is that okay to say it
That's
that way?
perfectly fine. That's
Okay,
perfectly
okay,
fine.
that's
Yeah.
pretty-
You don't have to go into a lot of detail because at the end, what you're going to say, other observed or known conditions not specified above. You see where it's on page 3.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You say buyer is strongly advised to get a home inspection with a licensed inspector.
Mhm.
Okay.
Always put that there.
Put that
'Cause that
statement there
protects them.
always.
Yeah, it protects us 100%.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yep.
And like if you go outside and you're looking at the air conditioning unit, obviously you're not an HVAC person, but you can
Nope.
see if there's like really bad wear and tear on it. So you would state on there, AC unit has more than normal wear and tear apparent.
Okay.
Use the word apparent, right?
Okay.
Because then you're not saying it's bad, it's wrong, because maybe it's not, it's just old but it's working fine. So use those kind of terminologies. So that's basically what your AVID is going to do for you. If you don't want to do your AVID at the time of your listing, still take notes. But then when I go to the home inspection, I do my AVID in a little bit more detail then.
Okay, so it can be updated later down the line. Okay.
You can do that. So, but you still want to kind of use the AVID format when you're doing the listing so you can kind of go through the house and see, hey, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. If you do this, you're going to be ahead of the game. So And if you want to do it at the home inspection, a lot of times you're not present at the home inspection because you don't represent the buyer. But you can be present if you want. It's 2 and 3 hours out of your day, but you're going to get a little
Yeah,
bit more.
I've been to one. They take a little bit of time.
They do. They do. And with home inspections, I don't advise my clients to go to home inspections until the last like 30 minutes when the inspector's wrapping up. So that way they can get the summary of what the inspector has found. They can pay the inspector, and then they can, they won't be bothering the inspector with questions and stuff to delay and take his focus off of what he's doing.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So then you're going to go down to the AV disclosure, and you'll see I put a note in here.
Yes.
You can fill this document in gavar.org, save as a PDF, and upload to ZipForms.
Got it.
So I try to put little, kind of look for stuff that I've kind of added in so that you know what I'm talking about. This is a new form, Disclosure Information Advisory. They just did this in June. I wasn't even aware. Shame on me. So it tells you a little bit about preparing to complete your disclosure obligations, instructions for completing. This is for your client. And this tells them why they're filling out the TDS, what the TDS should have on it, the seller property questionnaire. All those things are there. And you want your seller to be aware of why they're doing things and what they should be disclosing. Okay, so that's new. And then we have market conditions advisory. You always want to have the client aware of what the market conditions are. You can't, they change all the time, but it says right here, as a buyer, you're responsible for determining the price you want to offer for a property. This is mostly for the buyer, but it also tells your broker recommendations, seller considerations, and what have you.
So on that one, Barb, when you give the client that form there, the market conditions advisory, would you attach the CMAs that you gave them on the property, or you just given them that one?
No, you just give them that. It's up to their agent to figure it out. It's up to their agent to do due diligence for their client.
Okay.
Okay. So what's happening right now, if you guys, I'm sure you're aware, is that these properties are listed, let's say 400,000.
Right.
5 and 6 and 7 and 10 offers are coming in on one property within a couple of days, and buyers are offering anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 over list, and they're willing to pay the difference in a negative equity situation just to be able to get the property.
That's what happened to the house catty corner from us.
And what happens is that drives the prices up.
Yep.
It inflates them to the point where, is it realistic? Probably not. But people are desperate because there's a housing shortage right now. So the other thing you want to give to a buyer is the notice of your supplemental property tax bill. I don't know if a lot of brokerages do this or not, but you guys are aware that after you close on a purchase, they're going to assess your property taxes and readjust them based on the purchase price. And then your buyer's going to get a bill, right? And they're going to go, hey, Barb, why did you send me this? Why am I getting this bill? You didn't tell me I was going to get a bill. I did tell you right here. But explain it to them. And you as the seller's agent, have an obligation to present this to the buyer. Your buyer's agent should do that, but you should also do it. Okay. You're just covering all your bases. And here's your TDS and your SPQ. You guys are well aware of what those are for and how to fill them out, right? You don't fill them out. Your client fills them out.
Yeah, the client fills those out.
Right.
Not ours.
Exactly. And I'm removing the seller's advisory. It's an extra one because it's attached to the listing agreement.
Okay.
So that's out of there. And then your statewide buyer and seller advisory is a must-have. And you guys are familiar with that, right? Okay. And then your water conservation flyer.
Yep.
Need to have that. What you need to know, and you want your seller to be aware. It's not anything they have to sign, but you just want to give it to them as a matter of course. And then you've got your water conserving plumbing fixtures and carbon monoxide detector notices. Okay? Self-explanatory.
Yep.
And then you have the last one is the wire fraud, but we already have the wire fraud in the package, so we're going to take the wire fraud out of here. And I'll just adjust the template. So those two will come out. So those are all your disclosures. You got your listing contract and your essence forms to use at time of listing. You've got your CDA template. That's going to be towards the end of your deal. And this one is an office document. So you just fill out all this up here. You sign it, date it, send it to me to approve it, and then it goes to escrow.
And
Okay.
on that one, do you want us? Should we load that to DocuSign to fill it out, or
You
Adobe
can.
Sign, whichever one's the easiest?
You can, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Okay. That's whatever way is better for you guys. And here's your SI that you want to have your seller fill out. It's an essence form, so it's just for us. But when you order your prelim, this is what you want to send with your prelim for your seller.
Okay.
Always order your prelim with a statement of information. Okay. And that the way they know they have the right person. This form you don't have to use if you don't want to, but it's helpful because it has the terms of the offer when you get an offer from a buyer. So you've got a termite report, who's going to be the termite, who's paying for it, who's going to order it. You got your county transfer tax, who's going to pay for that, your home protection plan, who's paying for it, how much are they asking for. So you're basically taking some key information off of the offer, putting it on this form so that it's just like you don't have to go back and refer to the whole document. You've got it right in front of you like that. So other things are here. You don't, it's not mandatory. You don't have to use it, but if it helps you as you're starting to get through and make, make some deals happen, then you can do that. Let me see. So what I like to do with escrow documents, when I get escrow, I put it in the escrow folder. When I get the prelim, I put it in that folder. It's up to you how you want to do it. So now, let's say you've done your listing contract. Let's just use a short one. Let's use a key safe. And you're like, okay, it's done. Everybody signed it. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go up here, submit for review. You see that button up there?
Right.
So you submit it for review. You click on needs review. You say, hey, Barb, this is
Can I
complete.
do this right?
Can you please review? Right? So you're going to send it to me. I'm going to get an email right away into my email. I might not check it right away, but I will get an email. I'm going to go ahead and see it. I'm going to say, okay, it's not approved because missed the date. Complete. Whatever. I'm not even typing right today.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Please complete. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to apply it. Then you're going to get an email.
Okay.
Okay. And so we can communicate that way without having to call or text or whatever. It's all right here. This should be your only form of communication to a certain extent. Okay.
Speaking of emails, I did list on my personal page the house that you sent to me. I don't have my real estate page put back up yet.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get everything tidied up
It's okay.
so that I can work on my real estate.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I did send it to somebody that I do know. I don't know whether they'll, move out to the east side or not, but I did send it out. So yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. We actually, because I threatened to cancel yesterday at 3 p.m. At 2:44,
Oh Jesus.
I got an email that said we finally got the verification of employment.
Oh my God.
Submitted to underwriting. They're like, I should have threatened you with cancellation a month ago.
Wow.
The games that are being played right now are monumental.
Astronomical.
It's
Yeah.
crazy that somebody would do something stupid like that to hold the deal up. I mean, you're working.
Just
Crazy.
cancel it.
Do you
Just
need to
hit
get that?
end and it'll turn off.
Okay, so that's how you communicate with me when you want me to review a document. Let's say that, okay, so I'm in my file that I created because I'm listing your house, Suzanne. I'm going to go to my notes.
We're listing my husband's house.
Yeah, you got to do your
She's
work.
got
'cause
a
she's
So I'm going to go into my
I
notes
have
right
this
here.
school loan in my name, so you know that goes.
So I'm going to create a new note, and I'm going to say, Suzanne, did you fill out the statement of information? Please return it so I can order the prelim. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't have, I don't think I have your email address in here. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to notify. Well, it's going to go to me. So, but I think I can put you in here. No. Okay. It's going to go to me. And then I'm going to put the subject, SI.
SI.
Please see attached. And I'm going to say, copy me. So I'm going to get it twice because it would go to you, but then I'm going to copy me. And then I'm going to send it. So when I send it, what happens is it creates a history. Look at my history.
Right.
every single thing that you do in the transaction is documented in the history.
It's
So
already done.
it's already, you don't have to do anything. It's just all right there. So you have to do everything within the ZipForms platform to protect you. You know, something comes up later on down the line. Guess what? Oh,
It's right there.
Here it is right here. So always use your notes. Send your emails from here. Checklist. This is where you can add things that need to be done.
Oh, wow. Look at this. I love it.
You can use
Status
this. You
checklist.
can turn it into you can organize it.
Wow.
You've got urgent tasks. Let me see, where am I here?
Now I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Do you do a hard copy of all of this once it's once it's closed? Do you want a hard copy at all, or no? You trust the digital completely?
Completely digital. Like, for example, Carmen likes to have paper copies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of, I know it sounds weird. I'm old fashioned.
You know what? Do what you need to do for you, as long
Okay.
as you do what you need to do for me in here.
Okay.
Okay? If you feel
Okay.
you need to have a paper copy, but see, ZipForm keeps all these things for 7 years.
Okay, then I'm good. That's fine. That's good.
what the
Thank
technology's
you.
there for.
Thank
Just
you.
utilize it.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
But utilize it, play with it, see what you've got to have, you know, whatever you have to do it through here.
Because don't get me wrong, but Aubrey told me
That we always had
that
to have a
we
paper
always had to
copy.
have a paper copy.
Yeah. like
That's
we're-
why I'm asking.
I mean, if that's his requirement, his preference, then he can do that. I
Okay.
don't want paper. We don't need paper.
This is they
No,
do
that's
they
fine.
do everything for 7 years. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I
And
get
as
it.
long as you're using this platform and working through here, great. Now I want to show you one more thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you go into, let's use the key box again. I want to send this over to DocuSign, right?
Right.
So the packet name is keybox, keysafe lockbox. I don't need to put all that in there. So what I'm going to do is just say keysafe disclosure, and I'm sending it on 8/28/2020. Maybe. And see this right here? Choose a folder for return signed documents to go automatically. Click that. Because guess where I want that to go?
Wow.
I want it to go into my fully executed seller documents. So
Okay.
then you don't have to sort anything, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's sorting it for you, but you have to make sure that you do it the right way. So I'm gonna put it in there. I'm gonna say done. It's gonna take me out to ZipForms. I'm gonna put it for signatures. It's gonna come back signed into that folder that I want. You can create folders however you want to create them. So right here, just click folders, click add folder,
Right.
and you can call it, let's call it buyer fully executed documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll do it like this, FE. Then you got, okay, so anything the buyer signed is complete, then you can put it in that folder,
Okay.
okay? Your title documents, your escrow documents, this is all parties. So at the end of the day, all I want to know, fully executed documents, all parties. So when something is fully executed, you go into that folder, and this is where you would send it to me to be approved.
Okay.
Okay. So it's so simple. You just have to work in it a little bit to get used to it. Let me see if there's anything else in here. Contacts. These are all, there's Ralph right there. You can find Ralph right there.
Okay.
Wow. There you go.
But he's not
Okay.
with WFG anymore. So, but add stuff to this. And once you get it all, your address book is going to be for brokerage.
What I love is that she's got all the appraisers and everybody in here to call. And oh, I love it.
Anything that's green, you can see it in the contact list.
Right.
If it's something black, it means
That's
it's my
personal.
personal stuff. Yeah.
Right.
So you can see all that there. Dan Howard with Fidelity National Home Warranty is amazing. I use him. Let's see what else. So let's go back out to the dashboard. Now, I don't want that transaction anymore because I'm not going to use it, right? So
Right.
go over here to the right. I'm going to delete it. You guys don't have delete permission.
Yeah.
So if you need something deleted, you need to let me know, and I'll look at it and say, yeah, I'm going to keep it. Nice try, Felipe. I'm keeping it. So back in templates. And here's your sales disclosure list again by itself. If you just want to pull that up by itself, it's there.
Right. I remember
all
you
the
telling
forms-
me that in the office.
Right, all the forms for the office use are here. You've got an agent envelope. You can download that onto your computer if you want to use it there.
Okay.
Agent goal sheet. Work with it. Use a goal sheet, you know? Figure out what you want to accomplish. You guys already know if you don't speak it into the universe, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Here's a good document for you guys. I know you're not new, but you're kind of starting new again. This is new agents getting started. It might be a little bit outdated, but I'll update that later on, but it kind of gives you some stuff that you can use. Self-image, there's your SI form again. These are orders for termites, terms of offer, toxic mold. I even have a 1003 application in here, you know, but I used to do loans. I'm not doing them anymore. I've got a utility list for the cities of Lancaster, Palmdale, and Rosamond. Common ways to take title to real estate properties. Give this to your buyers. Give this to your buyers. It tells them about tenancy in common, joint tenancy, community property, right of survivorship, and it's branded for Essence. So give those to your buyers, okay? There's a homestead declaration in here. Here's a PCOR, a blank PCOR in case your client messes up and they need to fill out another PCOR. It's right here. Home inspection list. If you have people that you want to add to this list, let me know, send it to me and I'll add them to the list and we'll just update it. Okay. And I'm open to any kind of suggestions, guys. Seriously.
Barbara, this folder was under which one again? Under
Which
document? Under
This will go back. It's right here under documents.
It's under forms for
Right,
office
Forms
use.
for office
forms
use.
for office use.
Yep.
Yeah, this is in templates.
Templates.
Under templates.
Because our
Our
templates
template-
show nothing.
Our templates, when we click on them, show blank.
It's blank.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
But didn't we go over this yesterday or something that they were
Well,
there?
we went over this when I was in your office, but it was on your computer.
Yeah, both
Right.
still like it lets us pull the
If we
pre-mades
click on new,
on new. Like if we click under templates at all, they show absolutely nothing. They show blank.
Okay, let's look at Felipe real quick. See what we got going on here. Templates. That's what shows for you right there.
Yeah, we can't see any of them.
That is really
There's no
strange.
templates to display. Click here for help with creating a new template.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you on your dashboard?
I am on dashboard.
And you clicked over to templates
yeah.
and you can't see these.
No.
No.
Okay, do me a
Neither
favor.
can I.
Go into transactions and open up a new transaction
Okay.
and check
Open up
for
new.
a purchase. Make a purchase this time
Okay.
and see if you can.
New transaction. And then purchase.
Because you should be able to see those. Templates. Suzanne, yours are there.
I'm not on mine because I'm on my computer with
No,
you.
that's fine. I'm just making sure, I'm checking to make sure my settings are correct. Rodrigo's are there when I open up his.
Could it be because of the iPad? No,
No,
that's odd.
let's see.
And then if you go into my templates, it shows you the global and everything.
Manage forms. Let me see here. Maryland home should no, that's fine. Okay, so are you opening up a new
Yeah, under the
residential
transaction
listing?
purchase, I have all the global ones here for
Okay.
listing and all that. I can see those.
What about if you select? You can only see it for the listing, right? You can't see for the
I can see
purchase.
like offer residential. I can see
Oh,
buyer rep agreement, but I have the checklist forms for office use.
okay. Let me see. I'm going into your file right now. Templates.
It's so interesting
That's
because it
weird.
shows it when you click on it, but Rodrigo and I, we've clicked around and it doesn't.
So even when you open up the new transaction
Mm-hmm.
and you go down to templates, you can't see the templates?
Mm-mm. Like when you're doing it, like you put the address name in there and you click residential and it pre-populates for you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't pre-populate the template at all for us.
That's
What
weird.
is it? Select template.
Mhm.
Well, show her what
But
it
it's
shows
not
you.
showing that one.
But it doesn't show up under the template.
Under its temp-
But show her this, Felipe.
I know what we showed her yesterday. We sent her a screenshot.
Oh,
So it's showing up when you're in the actual transaction that you can choose the residential purchase, right?
Right.
And I guess that's what you're supposed to see. I don't know. As
Maybe
long,
we see all of them like you do when we click on templates.
right? I don't know why. Maybe that's because I'm the producer of the templates.
Because like the only other way we would be able to get like forms for office use, like we can't see any of those on here. Like we can click on forms for office use here,
Mm-hmm.
but
and
nothing comes
it
up.
brings it in under, if we do it as residential. But other than that, I don't see anything else.
So do all the forms populate into that transaction when you click on it for the
Okay.
templates?
Let me do forms for office use, save. Yeah, it says the template was applied, and now if I go under documents, I can see buyer's utility, buyer's city of Lancaster. I can see all the stuff that you're just showing us, but I don't see it unless I create a transaction.
Okay, so you have to create a transaction to be able to do that. Okay, I'm going to contact ZipFormPlus and find out why that's happening.
Okay.
Because you should be able to click on the template
Click on those. Yeah,
Yeah,
tab
without-
to see all those.
right.
Yeah.
Because then we can't delete them.
Yeah.
You go delete a bunch of.
Oh my God.
Don't make me come over there, Felipe. And then something else they have on here is called clauses, and we can create clauses.
Okay.
For example, what I was telling you about office clauses.
Yeah.
So I'm going to create a new clause for offices, and it's going to be select the office. We don't have to worry about that. Category is going to be under, let's say, disclosures. No, that was the listing agreement, right?
Yes.
And the clause title will be, no, actually, no. It was the AVID. And it's going to be buyer inspection.
Okay.
And I'm going to say buyer is strongly recommended to obtain a home inspection with a licensed / certified home inspector. And then we have a clause.
Right.
So now we have to figure out how do we
Insert the clause.
insert the clause. So let's go back to transactions. And I'm going to pull this one up. Where's my clauses? Documents. Let me add an addendum here. Verification of property condition. We'll put this in here. Now, where are my clauses? Okay, clause manager is all the way to the right. You see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a document open, you can open clause manager. Go to office clauses. Where is it?
You saved it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I did save it.
You did. I watched you.
What the heck?
It's right there. Cool. No.
No, it's not.
Okay, so let's go. Oh, I'll have to fix that. So if I do click on this, I can edit this if I want to. Seller to
Right.
contribute 3% of sales price.
Messing with
The
it.
recurring and non-recurring closing costs. Let's put that in there. Save it.
It'll import it for you.
What the heck? Oh, you got to import it. Leave me alone. Okay, import. Did we import?
Okay. You have to pick one to import.
Oh, okay. Why is it browsing for a file?
Because it
Oh,
wants-
wait a minute. See,
didn't
I'm
pick a
learning
file.
today too. I'm learning today too. I want to insert a clause.
Right, so go back. Now pick which clause you want. Pick which one you want, and then put, no, close that out. I'm sorry. So you want to import.
Right. Import.
You need to pick one of those to
No,
import.
import is bringing out from somewhere.
Oh, no, you want to export it.
No.
Oh, yeah. How about that?
There we go. You want to
That's
export
smart
it.
we are. Okay, I'm gonna export both of these so you can see what they
Okay.
say. And then we'll have to move these to the actual
Export's gonna
global
be,
part.
export's just making you choose where you want to save it on your computer. It's not gonna.
Okay, okay, so we close
Okay.
that. It's not doing it.
Okay.
Interesting. Another project I have to work on. Okay, but we'll figure it out, but that's available, so I'll figure it out and see how we can make it work.
Copy paste for now.
There you go. Or ask me and I'll tell you. So, okay, you guys have any more questions on this?
Do you have any more
No,
questions?
we're good.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Barbara, do you want us to do when we're doing our homework? Do you want us to like me send it to Rodrigo and have him sign, or just leave the seller buyer signatures? Just put the agent stuff and send it.
Are you comfortable with DocuSign and making sure that everything, no, you know what? Go ahead and do that. DocuSign to each other so I can make sure that you're not missing anything.
Okay, that's what I was
Okay.
saying. Just do it
Yeah.
back to each other.
That'll work.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Good meeting, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right.
Good meeting. I'm going to stop that sharing. Oh, there they are. Okay. So I'm going to hate to see this video, but we should be okay.
We're good.
All right, guys. Have a good day, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
Friday. Thank
You
you.
too. Take care.